Do you know what your blood work looked like when you were like suppressing your estrogen enough to not have gyno flaring up? Because I've seen your blood work that you sent me today. That's on
Yeah,
no Arimidex, right?
yeah. That's the thing is the last year when I was still on it,
Mhm.
it was always not detectable. It always came back estrogen not
Oh
detectable.
my God, dude. That's wild. Getting to your injury recovery and whatnot, how's everything going with your, like, you had the gyno removed, you had the bicep reattached,
Yeah.
everything going smoothly, or any kind of hiccups, or how's
So
stuff going?
yeah, that's everything goes really well. I can't complain. The only thing is that when I move this arm, I'm feeling some kind of a click, 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 click inside, which I 100% I can't tell what it is. It is a bit
Mhm.
scary because I'm just wondering, like maybe did they, when cutting everything open, on mistake, maybe cut through another tendon of my forearm somewhere or whatever, you know?
Mm. Jeez. Hmm.
So that's
Ye-
a bit scary. But beside that, I'm people looking at me like they say they can't believe. Just to touch on that real quick, yeah, I was using the peptides to recover.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which peptides are you using? Like, what did you end up doing?
The BPC 157 and the TB 500.
Okay,
Then the GHK copper I was also using.
nice. What about GH? Did you end up using that too?
Yeah, GH also was using GH. Three
Okay.
units, 2 units.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like, I guess it's kind of
two or
hard to
3 units of
tell
GH.
if it helps because it's not like you've ever had your bicep pop off the fucking bone before. So, but do you think it's helping, or what do you think?
I really was even asking my friends who gave me these peptides. I was like, "What do you think?" Like,
Yeah,
let's say a normal, like the doctor tells you it's 8 weeks. Okay, so I'm like, and if I use the peptides, is it then 6 weeks or what? You know, like
yeah.
no one could give you any reference of like if you use this, your recovery will be faster. But then another of my friends said it might not speed up, but it may make it a stronger recovery, so it would heal more better in general, just like stronger and just preventing future tears.
True, true. So are you still using them right now, or are you off of them?
Yeah, now it's 7 weeks. I'm still using them
Okay, cool.
every day. You know.
Are you like allowed to train yet, or like what's the update on? Like, I'm assuming.
Now, I mean, as soon as I was able to do something, I just went. I mean,
Okay.
I don't care what the doctor says.
Yeah.
As long as I can think that I can do it, I go and do it. Then the same thing, the gynecomastia, 10 days after I've been back and gym. Not that I was training hard anyways or anything. Since I tore my biceps, I'm having pussy workouts, to be honest. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a bit of legs here, a bit of this here. The first 4 weeks, I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did something for like a week, like a bit of legs. Then I did remove the gynecomastia. So I did again not do anything for like 1 week again. And then now just slowly getting back. Now I start to pump up my triceps a bit, left and right arm. Then the left, but not been training at all for like 7, 8 weeks now. You know, sadly, because I see my physique is kind of like now it starts to fade a bit, but it's nothing that is not fixable with proper workout and nutrition.
No, you'll get it back super quick for sure. Do you think the aromatase inhibitor had something to do with the bicep tear? Because you mentioned
Yeah, I
like
highly
a lot of
believe
people,
so.
I don't think they realize, like, it's not like it was obvious. You had gyno, like a little bit of gyno for a while, and I'm assuming you got that from one of the first the like dumb cycles that we all did when you were younger, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just first up, it came like that. And then the one thing I can tell, like, is when I went to India, right, for this movie that I did bring all my supplements for the time of the stay. So
Mm-hmm.
then they extended the stay for like 3 weeks. And then I was like, yeah, and what am I going to do here now? I have no Arimidex with me. And then just within 1 week, it was already there.
Oh my god, damn. So like
And then once something grows, it's there, and it's just can, like I said, it can shrink, it can get smaller. And then I was on that point where it was really small if I suppress my estrogen that much,
yeah,
but that would also long term affect my tendons. And then the most important thing that I think had the biggest effect on tearing my biceps is the fact that I would record all my videos, everything, with the left hand. So you always would see me with the left side, all my Instagram videos, everything. So when, let's say, I'm training, And every time I'm training, my left arm would have like 20 extra sets to get all these videos in. And after the last 2 years, I think over time that accumulated up to stress that arm too much, and that would just
because you do some pretty like aggressive like flexing videos too, like to get those shots with like your veins looking crazy and shit. I guess after a while it like takes its toll, right?
Yeah, that's what I believe. And then also like being that kind of dry and being low in estrogen that much, over time it would have just did its damage.
Do you know what your blood work looked like when you were like suppressing your estrogen enough to not have gyno flaring up? Because I've seen your blood work that you sent me today. That's on no Arimidex, right?
Yeah. That's the thing is the last year when I was still on it, it was always not detectable. It always came back estrogen not detectable.
Oh my god, dude, that's wild. Yeah. No, that's good that you got this removed, man, because that's like brutal for your heart, for your brain, for like everything.
Look, so then I would go back a month later to test again, not detectable. And I was like, fuck, dude, what can I do? But then I would stop the Arimidex or something. 1 week later, my nipples would burn and stuff. And I'm just like, what the hell can I do, man? I need to suppress it, but not because I want to look dry, but just because of the gyno will otherwise grow.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to suppress it because it would also it's not good if it's not detectable. So then like when I now came off the Arimidex and all that stuff for like the 7 weeks or 8 weeks, did the blood work, now it came back properly in range, which was making me super happy. It's also my mood feels better now. It feels like now I'm good set up.
Dude, when you're low estrogen, I've like mood swings, feeling depressed. Like I would stop caring. Even like when I took letrozole when I was younger, when I was trying to like dry out back when I used to cut on like Tranmasteron and all that kind of shit. I took letrozole to kill my estrogen to get like dry. I literally stopped giving a fuck about women entirely. I was just like asexual, didn't give a shit about anything. I stopped talking to girls. I was just like, fuck everything. Like nothing matters in life. Just super like nothing, like everything in life just like feels, it's like black and white. Like there's no color in life. Yeah.
People underestimate that thing. That is why it's also not just get the next best test bottle from your local dealer and start to shooting it. No, man.
Yeah.
It's about, you need to, if you do this, you need to make sure that you go to the doctor and you check something is in range, or if it's just not in range, because it would affect your overall life too much, just too much. And that's the thing. Like I went to the blood work, then check this. Then I would even have another video from a blood work, which I checked. And then my test was shit, because then I come back, I'm natural. And I'm just like, technically I couldn't be natural because I'm on test replacement therapy. But it means then that my product is not good, which then comes back to this point. There's not the best gear in Thailand. But yeah, I definitely am really happy that my estrogen now is back in range, makes you feel better and all that. So if someone wants to take gear, go ahead, but also consider the fact that you might sometimes need to spend some money on doing blood works. Just real quick, Tony, this is the most genuine guy that I know. He's since, let's say, he had the flu. He had it, né? And then since he's over it, he was do his blood work 3 times already. So he would anyways almost weekly be there, checking this, doing this, checking it, maybe taking GH, immediately checking if the GH is any good and all that stuff, and just like checking on the things, because thinking like, how I feel like, oh, maybe I think my estrogen is in range. I think this is good. I think, what you think might not be true. And you need the actual data to make sure that your performance is good.
Yeah. This is like why I always talk about like the importance of having normal estrogen levels, because so many TRT clinics will just throw people on Arimidex just because they think you need to have like estrogen's bad, needs to be like 0 in order to be, more masculine, because men shouldn't have estrogen, and it'll fuck you up, dude. Like it'll make your dick not work, make you more prone to injury, make you feel terrible, make you depressed.
Obviously, so in my opinion, the approach would be let your estrogen come up, and then try to suppress it to a healthy range or level, instead of just trying to say like in general it's just shit. Like this is like people that say, even you should anyways use the Arimidex, Romacin or something, or letrozole, and then just like, no, dude, because You should just not use it at all. And then once you think you start to get high estrogen, that's when you start to bring it in.
Yeah.
And then you bring it in if it's a fact that it's high, and not just like because you are thinking it's high. It's probably better to check real quick and then just try to keep it in some range. Obviously, having it too high is also not good. Makes you feel moody and like a girl somehow a bit.
Yeah. Like your gyno video where you were talking about, this was like before the injury and before everything, you were kind of touching on how you just need to kind of get it removed so you don't have to deal with the aromatase inhibitors. And like, I agree that like for you, you're so sensitive to it that if you literally need to take an AI just to run like TRT, like at that point, surgery is definitely a no-brainer for sure. And I think a lot of people definitely need to think about that.
I don't mind even to come out with one thing. I won't mind come out. So let's say, look, so I have a girlfriend, right? So so I want to have some fun, right? So I'm not using the Arimidex. So I let my estrogen come back up. So my performance is good.
Yeah.
In bed. Then I would get the gyno again. I'm like, fuck, my nipples, bro. Shit, I need to take the tablet.
Yeah.
Then you might take, because then you're like, oh my God, I need to fix this real quick. So then you might take a whole Arimidex tablet instead of maybe taking a quarter or half a tablet. Then you suppress the estrogen too much again. Then your performance is shit again. Then you're like, oh my God, then you let your estrogen come back up. Then the gyno starts again.
Yeah.
Then, so it was always like, it was a hell, like a circle of hell, bro. Like I was not sure, like, how can I fix this? The only thing that I knew is I need to remove this, otherwise I will never find my peak.
Like when your estrogen's low too, even if you take Cialis, even if you take Viagra, like you'll still have shitty, not high quality erections. Like it's not, you can't even function when your estrogen's in the toilet. So like I think anybody who literally needs an aromatase inhibitor to not get gyno on like TRT amounts, like my first suggestion is always like increase your injection frequency to like more frequent pinning with smaller amounts to see if you can get away with removing the AI. Because for some people that works, going to like daily like micro shots, but above and beyond that, saving up for gyno surgery, because you can't live on a Arimidex like crushing your estrogen to single digits or undetectable like your whole life. It'll fuck you up, like your heart.
That's
you in the bedroom.
What my doctor said also back in the days. He was like, bruh, long term, you really need to try to fix this because you can't. And then I just said, yeah, but what should I do, dear doctor? I take out the AIs and then I would get the gyno. Then they say, yeah, use tamoxifen. Bruh, I use tamoxifen, raloxifene, clomiphene. It would just somehow not work for me for whatever reason. I would still have the problems. I would feel my nipples are sensitive and stuff. So I was like, if people have an issue with that stuff, and at one point you might consider the surgery.
Yeah, honestly, I think as fucked up as it sounds, I think the bicep thing might have been like a blessing in disguise, because when you were injured, you were like, okay, I'm injured anyway, so I'm going to get the gyno taken out, which maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. And now you can get your estrogen up. Whereas like, besides the fact that it made you injury prone, like eventually that would have fucked up your heart, dude. So it's good that you got that removed.
I tell you real quick, I was having the time of my life, you know, like the last 6-8 weeks and stuff. Even because I have my girlfriend, it's such a great time, even though my biceps was fucked. But just because like my hormones were in balance.
Yeah.
While before that, I was crushing my estrogen and stuff, and I would just still be like not feeling good.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad you got that sorted, because that's like long term, that would have definitely fucked you up. So I'm glad to hear that.
And
I think it was a blessing in disguise for sure.
It already fucked up the biceps kinda, and then it's that I'm already was like 1-2 years on the AIs anyway, right?
Yeah.
It was weird because it all started after this India thing. Before that, I would use my TRT and not use any AI because I would have just not needed it. Mm-hmm. And then once the lump would grow, once it was there, it would always start to do something. It would always either then go bigger, and it would be like today in the morning I wake up, it's super small. In the evening, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways, my gyno wasn't like crazy big. We're just talking about like a small nut.
But knowing that it could have gotten worse, you know, if you left it. So
exactly.
And obviously for you taking pictures all the time, like eventually it would have gotten to a point where it would be obvious and like, you know, affect your physique and whatnot. So that's good, man, that you got that shit sorted. I think we've been on for like 2 hours already, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, bro. We need to. I need to make a move also because my Thai teacher is coming now.
Okay.
Really, thanks a lot for the video. It was great to talk. Yeah, I mean, I think we've exposed or we've given a lot of information about myself and what I did, and maybe some good experience review or like something that people can listen to and make their resume themselves, make some decisions by the stuff that they were now hearing from us. And trust us. I mean, I always just want the best for everyone. If I say something, I really just want to help people, and I just mean it good. I don't want to. I also I've never been a sellout in my life. Like I've never just tried to go for the money part and fuck everything else. Just really, if I say something, I really mean it, and I really just try to help people and inspire and motivate and spread good vibes, have a good time, and that's it.
Appreciate your transparency, man. I appreciate you coming on, talking about all this stuff. Not a lot of people would be open and honest about this stuff, and definitely helping the younger generation, especially, educate themselves on how to stay safer, on how to not fuck themselves up, and inspiring at the same time, man. So I appreciate it. And let me sign off here.